Hi, so I'm Sandra Alexander with Autism, the Spiritual Approach to Intervention. I'm here today with Holly Wu, and I'm so excited to be here. And actually, we're right here in Albuquerque, New Mexico at Chinook Spirit Children's Academy. So, Holly, the first thing I would love for you to do, so everyone knows, is tell us what Chinook Spirit Children's Academy is, and how did you're the co-founder, and it was your amazing, creative, inspired idea. So what is Chinook Spirit, and how did you come up with it and this amazing school?
I'd love to talk about that. My favorite topic. Chinook Spirit Children's Academy is a small nonprofit school that currently serves kindergarten through 8 through a multi-age approach. And what makes us unique is that every day we offer daily meditation, and we simply ask that students and families accept all faiths, and we're teaching kids stillness to find clarity and tap into the love that we all are. And the idea came when I had my own daughter. I have one daughter, and a colleague and I were celebrating a Thanksgiving when both our daughters were 2. And I tend to write to process my inspiration and guidance. And I had written a document called Starting a School. And in it, I had just poured out all my dreams of what I want for my own daughter, and being a teacher, a veteran teacher for years, what I would want to teach in. And I kind of stored that away, and it was a couple months waiting on my laptop when Val, my co-founder partner, and I had Thanksgiving dinner together with our families, and she started talking and said, I would start a school, and this is what I would do. And she started naming. I would do an alternative schedule where kids have more free time in their life, so such as a Monday through Thursday approach, which is what we do. She said I would have daily meditation, I would like more field trips and service projects. She named all of the things that I knew. I just sat and listened and went, hold on. And I got out my laptop and showed her. There it was in black and white. And it took us 2 years. We wanted to start a year sooner, but the universe had different plans. And it's wonderful because it's just every step of the way has been divine and paved for us. We always have what we need because we're trying to practice what we're teaching the kids. We're trying to practice that check-in for guidance, and the kids see us on that learning path and letting us make decisions for the school that way. So another piece that makes us unique is every Thursday we go on field trips related to the curriculum, and once a month those field trips are service related, and each year and each semester the kids come up with what is in their heart to give. And we think in terms of our spirit time, we give to ourselves so that we can care for others. And so we're taking care of ourselves so there's something to give. And so our first service project will be the kids want to take care of this lovely garden that we're in.
Yes, we're in the garden at the school, so
yes,
that's a blessing in and of itself on this beautiful Albuquerque day. Well, I walked this journey with you a bit as you came up with this idea and then found a way to manifest it. So I watched you be inspired and watch this dream unfold. And I know you were in the public school system. You were a teacher in the public school system. You're a nationally certified teacher who had ideas of how to nurture a child's spirit in any way that meant for the family or for the child. So that's how we connected. When I wrote my first book, Child and Family Spirit Workbook, you actually embraced that book, started to use it. So share a little bit with folks of how autism, the spiritual approach to intervention, fits in at your school. And then let's talk, back and forth. Let's talk a little bit about maybe a particular kiddo that was facing a challenge that, broke your heart. They were facing the challenges they were facing. And then let's talk about how you dealt with that. Just take it away, because what what we want them to do is to go away with, they've heard the tools from me, navigated around the website, but hearing it from you, a teacher in the classroom every day using this process is a big deal.
I'd like to preface by piggybacking on what you said. I've been a public school teacher for over 15 years, and I've actually been a district administrator in charge of implementing interventions. And so many of the interventions, number one, cost a fortune. And number two, they're a very direct approach to addressing just the surface level of what kids need. And none of those interventions have been carried with me into my school here because they weren't lasting fixes. And so getting to know you with your first book and then getting to know you as a consultant at our school has been the greatest gift for us. It's so simple, the spiritual approach to intervention, and it's based on love, and that's what all of us want for our kids, to be loved, no matter what their need, no matter the time involved in each student. We just want them to be loved and their needs to be met. And that, to me, is what stands out about spiritual approach to intervention. It is about the individual's true need, and it's about getting to that need. Whether it's a student with special needs, whether it's a student that you would consider more mainstream, whether it's a parent. I've used this with so many.
Okay. All right. So yeah.
So many. So an example of a student who is on the spectrum that we've used recently, this student had a behavior that started, it wasn't his normal behavior, it kind of showed up. And he started to burst. He would just, whether it was with excitement or anger or fear, whatever his emotions were, they burst at a very loud volume into the otherwise functioning classroom.
So things would be kind of going along, and then he would just blurt.
Yes, it would.
And everything would come out.
Yes.
How long would that go on?
It would be for moments, but then there was that come down from it, and there was the reaction from the rest of the class. And maybe, we have a lot of parent volunteers that might not have been expecting that or know quite how we respond to that. And so when a student starts showing a pattern with behavior, my co-founder, teacher partner, and I, Val, we talk, and we just go straight to the strategies. And what we did was, first we thought, what is the student's need? And generally, like your book teaches us, it's emotional escape, it's attention seeking, or it's help me on the third one.
The sensory need to get extra stimulation,
attention,
or the
attention
thing.
seeking,
right? Or
yes.
the thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah. So which one?
Based upon, it happened a few times, so we kind of had an assumption. We didn't know if it was attention seeking or an emotional escape kind of rush, not escape, a rush. And we determined that it was an emotional rush.
And you use the activities in the book to be able to figure that out?
Yes, we keep it handy.
Well, that's good.
Yes.
Well, we're automating that soon too.
Yes,
so you can do the test.
Nice.
Yeah, you can do the test online.
Yes.
So, yeah.
You have it at our fingertips, so we keep the book. We keep the actual book handy because when we're in the classroom, it's really easy for us to open the book and use it. But at home, then I have that as a reference electronically, so it serves both purposes.
Good.
And for us, we decided it was an emotional escape, and we even kind of noticed a time of day that it happened.
So let's clarify. So it's kind of did he need to escape from something,
Excuse
or was
me.
it
Sorry,
or was it
a rush?
A rush. So
a rush.
So basically, that burst, no matter what it was giving him the stimulation that he needed in some way or another.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So
I
this
get
was
it.
his need. And so what we've learned from you is to anticipate those needs and meet them ahead of time, and then that response doesn't need to happen. So that's what he loves to be out here in the garden. So we started getting him kind of channeled out here at the time, ahead of time, before we would have that burst normally, and we let him express himself out here.
So you found a way then to make sure that he got enough of the, of the rush kind of sensory stimulation, and you added that in to his day between you and Val before he would burst.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. And so how long did it take for you to first of all figure that out, and then you apply it, both of you together, as a team, and then how long did it take before he stopped bursting, or did he?
I'm always surprised how quickly it works.
Did it?
It took one time.
Oh,
And
wow.
Immediately he knew.
That even impresses me.
We've used this approach with him with other areas, so he knows they're meeting my needs, they're hearing me.
Okay,
And so,
yeah.
but it worked quickly the first time with his first need. It worked. It worked. You've always prepared us that it may take a few weeks, and it never has. It worked right away.
That's good to hear.
It really did.
That's good to hear. And I love what you just said, because it sounds like, so not only are we doing sort of a very scientific thing of let's meet the need so the child doesn't have to inappropriately express for that need, but these kiddos are so intuitive, especially the kids on the spectrum, right? And so they just start getting a sense, right, that wow, they're doing something different here. It's like they get me, or even if we don't get it right the first time, what we've noticed kind of across the board is these kids start feeling like, well, at least they're trying to get me.
Yes, they hear me, they see me, they're trying to meet me.
Instead of what can be typical, and that's to see a behavior and then try to extinguish that behavior by some sort of removal or punishing, and I don't mean punishing in a severe way, but taking something away that they want.
And I'll be honest, before I knew about SAI, I mean, consequences, and they are a part of life, and they do happen, but I wasn't as targeted with my positive and consequence balance.
Okay.
It really helped. I needed something new, because in public school there were lots of systems in place. Whatever school you're at had a system, and in public school the systems I had were accepted, but it wasn't sitting well with me anymore. These kids, their sensitivities and awarenesses and who they are deserves that their needs be acknowledged and met. And so we needed something new. First, divine timing.
Well, yeah, and it's so hard sometimes, especially these kiddos don't really, even those who are verbal, some are nonverbal, but even the kiddos that are verbal have a difficult time expressing what they need and asking for what they need. So if we were to send, nice folks who are listening today on the website, them away without even having the book, without, you can look on the website, there's all kinds of free stuff and that sort of thing. But if you were to just to be able to share this tool, and how, okay, you're a parent or you're a teacher, or even look at ourselves. I mean, we have unmet needs, right?
A little bit.
You think? A little bit. So we, and we have our inner tantrums.
Never thought about using it on myself.
Well, then we'll both learn some more today, because, sometimes it's like, okay, so let's look at ourselves. Looks like, okay, so I have a challenging behavior that I'm doing. I'm tantruming inside.
Yes.
Sometimes our challenging behavior is going to the grocery store for a gallon of ice cream. Right?
Yes.
Because it's like, I just don't want to feel like this.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes we have to look at it, and if you're a parent listening, if you're a teacher listening, you might want to think in terms of, okay, I need to get my needs met too. And so before I can reach out and maybe try this out with my kiddo, why don't I try it out on myself? Why don't I say, you know what, when I'm feeling that inner tantrum, what is my unmet need? do I need to escape? Am I in a crowd and I don't need to be in a crowd? Is my environment not feeling good? Am I surrounded by maybe people that I need to get away from? Do I need more attention in my life, you know? And how am I going to go about asking for that in the right way? Do I need more stimulation in my life? Am I bored out of my wits, you know, with what's going on around me? So I think it would be great, from my standpoint, if teachers, if parents, if the nice people listening would just maybe over the next week think about their own unmet needs, because that's so important, and we don't give ourselves permission to love ourselves the way we should. And what did you have on the tip of your tongue? Because I bet you did.
I
on
did.
Something that they can use for the kiddos, because that's your bag.
There's something, there's another piece to this that the kids have learned to be pretty transparent about. We ask the kids, what do you need? And always.
Go
always.
figure, just ask them, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
always. But sometimes it's reframed in what would give you energy. And I've learned that from you and
Okay.
from your spiritual approach to intervention, energy bank account. What does your spirit need? And if a student comes in on Monday and is having a hard time transitioning from home to back to school week, we don't find it absurd to let them do what they need to do. If they need to paint, they need to paint. If that is going to give them energy to get back into their work week, then what do they need to do? Do they need to build with Legos? And we consider that honoring your own needs. And that's something I've learned to ask myself from you. What do I need? What gives me energy? What would drain me?
And of course,
balance
you
that
keep
out.
saying learning from me, but the thing about it is that, you know, I've learned as much from you over the years. And just because I share this stuff doesn't mean I'm an expert at doing it. I get burnout just like everybody else, and I forget to ask myself what I need. So we help each other. We help
Thanks.
each other on
Thanks.
that. Yeah. So I just want to tell you how thrilled I am to be here with you today. I love you so much, and I admire so much the work you and Val are doing here. Val would have been with us today, except guess who's with the kids. So
Yes.
yeah. So thank you so much, and I hope everyone out here can pick up on your wisdom and to run with it, and to nurture these kids' spirits and to nurture our own. So thank you, my dear.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you.
The same.